Hey guys, what's up? This was a story that I wrote 5 years ago. I always told myself that when I was ready, I was going to elaborate into something much longer. When I first came up with this idea, it was supposed to be Victorian, old fashioned, wigs with the big dresses, carriages, castles, and horses, and even Old English. But instead, I decided to go into another direction. I kept the same storyline, just the imagery and time, also the culture has changed. I chose to put a lot of my Cuban roots into this and chose to make the story Spanglish. I'm really pleased with the choices I made. Well, here it is. Ana y las Tres, Episode 12, La Caida de Ana. So, the beginning of this episode starts off at Anna's favorite restaurant. She reserved a table for two. Not for her and her husband, the doctor, but with her loyal friend, Vanessa. Anna likes the fact that Gabriel has long hours at the hospital, so she could have her own time to do what she pleases, and also because she's not really in love with him. She thought she would take time for her and Vanessa, especially since it's been 3 years that they haven't talked to one another. This was more Anna's doing. She didn't know how she was going to explain the fact that she married the rich owner of the mansion she was working for. Not only that, but because of the fact Cynthia Smith committed suicide. And she had a lot to blame for that. She wanted her friend to see her the way she always saw her. Yep, that's why she disappeared from the picture, because she didn't know what she was going to tell her. So, enough time has passed by for her to come up with a backstory. So Anna reached out to Vanessa for dinner to catch up and to ask her for a favor, which would really benefit the both of them since Vanessa is now living at her sister's house too. The minute Vanessa walks into the restaurant, she feels uncomfortable. It looks fancy and she's not dressed for it, and it looks extremely expensive. Anna looks at her, but Vanessa doesn't recognize the woman signaling for her to come over. From the drastic change, the dye of hair, the surgeries, the style, the jewelry, and the makeup, she looked like an upscale wife that they would both clean their bathrooms to. Vanessa has changed as well. However, she's gained a few pounds, lost the will to care for makeup. She was 24, and she looked like a woman in her late 30s. As the hostess brought her to the table, then Vanessa realized this was Anna, her longtime friend. Vanessa looked around the restaurant, saying, "This is a really nice place." Anna said, "Don't worry about it. This is on me." She proceeds on asking her how the cleaning business is doing. Vanessa looked down. She felt ashamed, especially after her and her mother, Lucia, struggled so hard and trusted her with it. She didn't know how she was going to tell Anna, but she just decided to do so. She was at least honest, wanting the friendship. She told Anna that she lost the business. Since Maria left on the bad terms because of the friction and bad talk about Anna, what was doing, and Hector found himself a new boyfriend and left to New York, and no one wanted to work. She couldn't keep it up with anymore. Vanessa felt so bad she wanted to cry. Anna said, "Don't worry about it, Vanessa. You are way more important to me than a business. Besides, you know that was more my mother's dream. Anyway, as vindictive as Anna is becoming as a character, the one part of humanity she has left is actually how she feels about Vanessa as a friend. It's the only part of her that you see a heart. There was a part in this episode when Anna is speaking. Vanessa notices the way Anna spoke, her language, the words. It wasn't how she remembered. It was as if a rich woman possessed her body. None of what she's seeing was what she remembered. Even so, she tried to see past that. Then Vanessa wanted to change the subject. She pointed at Anna. "I'm sad, so what did you do, marry a rich man?" Laughing. Anna says, "I guess you can say that." So this is the part where Anna tells Vanessa her version on how she became Anna Smith, the new lady of the mansion. Of course, she made it look like Gabriel started to lose it. People were talking, and she, out of the good heart that she has, decided to stay for him. And that's how this love story began. After she's done catching her up on what she missed, she asks her for a favor. She shows Vanessa her belly. She's pregnant, and she would love if she would come work for her at the mansion as her maid. She, overjoyed, accepts. After she's done with the dinner, she goes to her appointment to her ultrasound. Today was the day she was going to find out the sex of the baby. Even though she was dreading it, she at least hoped that it would be a boy to make Gabriel happy. Instead, she finds out she's getting girls. That's right, triplets. At the end of this episode, when Vanessa comes to the mansion, she sees Anna distraught. It looks like there was a struggle in the mansion. Anna told her that the doctor left because she wasn't going to have a boy, and triplets were not on his agenda. Stay tuned for the next episode.